ballots are still being counted, but Cambodia's election is already in dispute. The opposition leader is rejecting the results, alleging that up to 1 million people may have been deprived of their right to vote.
There are too many irregularities with far-reaching implications that has distorted, if not reversed, the will of the people.
The opposition party, Sam Rainsy, toured polling booths during Sunday's election and is now calling for an independent investigation of the vote. Preliminary results show that his party captured 55 of 123 parliamentary seats, a strong showing against the prime minister's ruling party, but not enough to win a majority. Here with more insight on the Cambodian elections is Joel Brinkley. He's the visiting professional in residence at Stanford University's Department of Communication. Also the author of Cambodia's Curse, The Modern History of a Troubled Land. We want to welcome you back to the show, Joel. Sam Rainsy, you just heard he's contesting this. He says that he's calling for the creation of a special committee. He wants it to include representatives from both parties as well as international experts to investigate these alleged incidents of massive poll fraud. Is that likely to actually happen, do you think?
I don't think there is one chance that Hun Sen would agree to any kind of special committee to investigate the election. There has not been a clean election in Cambodia since the United Nations left in 1993. In that year, Hun Sen lost, but he arranged for several provinces to secede from the nation and form a new nation unless he was named co-prime minister. He is an utterly ruthless fellow, and the chance that he and Sam Rainsy can agree on a committee to look at the elections, I think, is virtually impossible.
Rainsy's also calling this, the results, a distortion of the will of the people. I imagine you would agree with that.
Well, as I say, there has not been an honest election since. There is credible evidence in this election that a number of people went to vote and found that their names were not on the voter rolls. This doesn't come from Sam Rainsy, it comes from election monitors, and that other people came and found that somebody else had already voted in their name, undoubtedly for Hun Sen. Most of the election manipulation is done before the polls open. Opposition candidates are forbidden to appear on television or radio, and Hun Sen's people generally go around the country and offer bribes and threats to people to vote for the Cambodian People Party, which is his party.
The deck undoubtedly stacked against him, as you just described it. Why would you say the opposition did as well as they did? I mean, they really ran a very effective challenge given the information you just given us.
Well, for one thing, this is the first time that the 2 or 3 opposition parties have united as one. And second, we are getting to a point where the average age in Cambodia now is about 20, so most people do not remember the Khmer Rouge era, and most people don't vote for Hun Sen because he has brought, quote, stability, unquote, to the country since the end of the Hun Sen era. They want prosperity, perhaps they want democracy, but they definitely want a new Cambodia, which Hun Sen is not going to give them.
So given the fact that Hun Sen has the majority still, is there any likelihood at all that there will be new polling done in the most severely affected provinces? I guess your assumption is no.
My assumption is completely no. Hun Sen can form a government. It used to be that 2/3 of the parliament had to be present for a new government to form, but in 2006, when he controlled 2/3 of the parliament, he put through a constitutional amendment that 50% plus one person is enough to form a government. He controls all the levers of power in the country, including the National Election Commission and all of the courts. He can form a government and not worry about Sam Rainsy.
Okay, Joel Brinkley joining us from Stanford, California tonight. Thank you so much.